Speaking of still being here, we are with Doug Milne over the PGA Tour media. You've been in the PGA for what, 30 years? You just celebrated 30 years?
Did. You're dating me already.
Yeah,
I started this.
I did a little bit of research before this. So for the viewers who don't know, what exactly does your job entail?
That's a great question. How long does this show run? 2 hours? No, as a media official, I'm kind of the short answer is I'm like the middleman between the media and the players. We try to assist and help the media with all their needs, whether it's access to players for interviews or information about a player's round. If a player has a really good round, we anticipate the questions of, hey, is that the best round this player's ever had? So we don't know all the answers, but we have easy access to look it all up. So we just provide a lot of information to the players or to the media about the players. And we also are out here week in and week out, so the players know us, recognize us, and trust us, for better or worse, to be mindful of their time with everything they've got to do. And so it's a balance, but it's one that's worked well for me.
I mean, Doug, with being in the business, as long as you've been in the business, you've seen some of the greats in your time, haven't you? I mean, just name some of the few that you've been able to work with.
Well, everybody. The nice thing about my longevity with the tour is that I was out when Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus were still playing on the Champions Tour, PGA Tour Champions. So I had lots of good interaction with them. And then, of course, Tiger. I've got had a lot of opportunities to work with Tiger, for Tiger, and Phil Mickelson to Rory McIlroy. Everybody out here that's ever played in a PGA Tour event, some way, shape, or form.
You've been in touch with them.
I've been in touch with them. Yeah, got the cell numbers to prove it.
I mean, you've seen a lot of the greats, but what about some of the upcoming players that we should look out for?
That's a great question, and that's where my enthusiasm really is, because there's a lot of talk about, a lot of the big names are not winning week in and week out, so much so, and I'm like, well, that's just open doors for a lot of these younger kids that are coming up, and they are working so hard to get their games. It's so much more competitive out here now on the PGA Tour. Not that it was not ever not competitive, but just the grind to get out here. And so the games that these guys are starting with on the PGA Tour it just levels like we've never seen before. Yesterday in round 1 here at the Barbasol Championship, Adam Svensson, he came out and threw up a 10 under 62, which is he's an amazing guy, and he may not be a household name yet, and that's the key word, yet. Just keep watching these guys that are on the leaderboard after round 1 here, the Barbasol Championship, and I guarantee you they're going to be in the winner's circle before long, and I'm going to have their cell numbers too.
Do you think with this being the last spot to go to the Open Championship next week, do you think that adds a little extra pressure to a lot of the players?
Yes, absolutely. And at last week's John Deere Classic in Moline, there were 3 spots available for players in the top 10 not otherwise qualified, and you could just feel the level. People really want to win. They don't want to just win the tournament at hand, in this case being the Barbasol Championship, but they really want to get to the Open Championship at St. Andrews, the 150th anniversary of that. So these guys are ready. They want to cross the pond, so to speak. And so it takes the competition to another level.
Well, this is a great opportunity to do so. Let's talk a little bit about your experience here at Barbasol. We know PGA Tour is really the first one here in Kentucky. So how has your experience been working just on the tour overall and here in Kentucky?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. This is my second time here. I think I was here the first year it was here. And our media center was over kind of behind our cameras here in a different building. But it's incredible. I'd forgotten how amazing the houses and the farms and just the layout of the place is fantastic. I'm on the road 28 to 30 full weeks a year. So I try not to get into the mentality of, it's just another city, it's just another golf course. I really do try and appreciate the places I'm in, and a lot of them I've been to year after year. And like I said, this is my first time back here in the Lexington area in about 5 years, and I've got nothing but great things to say about it. I've found a good place to run and work out, good places to eat, nice hotel. I hear the airport's very convenient to get in and out of, and so you guys are batting 1,000 so far.
That's what we want to hear.
That's exactly what we want to hear. Now, if people are interested in because the PGA, you all have so many different positions and opportunities. Now, for those who are interested in maybe getting into media or a different department, is that possible? What advice would you have to those coming up?
Absolutely. The PGA Tour is a wonderful place to work. I started, like you just mentioned a few minutes ago, when I started in 1991, I thought, this isn't really my thing. I'm not a big golf fan. I don't really know any of the players. I'll just do this for a few months until something bigger and better comes along, and here I am over 30 years now. So it has been a really wonderful place, and the Tour is such a large organization. There's so many different departments. Everything from player relations to the media side of things to PGA Tour entertainment, if video production's kind of your thing. And there's, as is the case with a lot of businesses, there's lots of turnaround, and there's just we're growing. The PGA Tour is growing, and as a result, we've got a lot more need for players to not players, but people to come on board and help out with those players in different capacities.
And one job that I find absolutely interesting is you've got a meteorologist on staff here, because I'm a meteorologist too, and so we've got one on staff as well, don't you?
Yeah. Well, you guys like back there like comparing notes and stuff. Yeah, we do. We have 4 or 5 traveling meteorologists. Just because we have our own doesn't mean that they're any better or worse than the guys in the local and gals in the local cities that we come to.
I'm the best though.
Okay, all right. I'm sandwiched between y'all. I'm not about to dispute that, but we do, and they're good people. They're good friends of ours. We, whether it's the meteorologists, media officials, player representatives, so forth. We're kind of all family away from family, and so it's great. We'll go out to eat dinner together. And Stuart Williams, our meteorologist this week, he gets so tired of, how we looking, Stuart? How we looking, Stuart? How we looking, Stuart? And so today we had a little bit of a slow start with the fog, as you know, 2-hour delay to the start of the round, but we are up and running.
And that's what's important, to get things going, because we don't want to slow the schedule down too much. But in just in case something happens, what is the contingency plan for that, for weather delays like that?
Yeah. Well, obviously the big factor is lightning. They can play through some wet stuff, but when lightning is in any way a consideration, they'll pull the players off the course. They'll stop down, and typically, I'm not sure exactly what if the delay is more than about an hour, the players will have a chance to go back to the range to warm up again. If it's less than that, they will pretty much go back into position where they were, start the round again. It's the game of golf. It's played outdoors. Weather is going to be a factor. If I had a nickel or a penny even for every weather delay I've been through in the last 30 years, I'd be well off, but it's we get through it. It's a routine. It's part of the process.
Doug, we appreciate you coming by and talking to us this morning.
Pleasure to have me. I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much.